So guys, what do Britney Spears and Spencer Pratt's mayoral campaign have in common? Surprisingly and sadly, it's actually more than you might think. Now, you guys probably know this by now, but former reality TV star, social media icon, Heidi's husband of the year, Spencer Pratt, is running for mayor of Los Angeles, and he is not holding anything back when it comes to how he plans on addressing the rampant homelessness and mental illness that terrorizes the citizens of Los Angeles. And I think that the Free Britney movement could learn a lot of uncomfortable truths from him. Now, before we dive into this story, I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting and always sharing your thoughts on all of these stories. If you want to stay in the know on what we are up to, make sure to ring that notification bell so you always know when we drop a new video. All right, so I have talked about this at length before. This is a subject that I care a lot about, but freeing Britney Spears from her conservatorship, shockingly, was not the solution to all of her problems. Now, people said at the time, the Free Britney absolutists, they just said, she just wants to be left alone. She wants to be free and funky and weird. She just wants to sing and perform and dance on Instagram in her home on those very oddly filmed videos. Like, she just wants to be left alone. However, that was very obviously not the case. It seemed like what Britney actually wanted to do was allegedly pull knives on her staff, burn down her home gym, and drink and drive, which unfortunately brings us to the most recent Britney story. Now, at the beginning of March, Britney Spears was pulled over in Los Angeles, I think it was specifically in Ventura County, by Highway Patrol for swerving in between two lanes. And at first, when she was speaking to the officer, she said it was because she was on the phone with a friend, speaking to a friend of 15 years, but officers smelled alcohol coming out of her car, so they asked her to exit the vehicle. Now, as of yesterday, this body cam footage has been released, and in response to that prompt, she asked the officers if they would come over to her house so that she could make them lasagna and they could enjoy her pool. Just watch.
The reason I pulled you over is because you were swerving in two lanes. You were all over the place. Everything okay?
Yes, sir. I'm
Yes.
fine. I have
So you
Red
were-
Bull and I drink
Okay, that's
beer,
fine.
and my kids are coming tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I do smell alcohol coming from your car. Okay, that's why I want you to step out. That way I can ask you some questions and conduct a DUI investigation.
You come to my house, I'll make you food and lasagna or whatever you want. Well, I have a pool. My babies are coming to my house tonight to go to my new car.
Okay.
First time driving it.
Now, people are obviously making jokes. They're memeing her on X, but like the entire thing is just sad. Like, it's crazy. Everything that we have seen in regards to Britney over the last 5 years has just been insane, from all of the videos and the stories, the marriages, everything. But more than that, it really is just devastating when you know everything that this incredibly talented woman has been put through. But having fame and also having empathy for a broken person also does not excuse them from doing things that could harm themselves or others, which in this situation is exactly what she was doing. Now, she apparently also told officers that, quote, she could probably drink 4 bottles of wine and take care of you because she's an angel, after she refused to take an alcohol screening tests. In their reports, officers said that she spoke, quote, nonsensically, and that her mood changed from confrontational and agitated to flamboyant and compliant. She also appeared to speak with a British accent at times. Other times she was speaking in a baby voice. Like, I mean, this should not be surprising at all. Like, we have all watched the videos on her Instagram. Like, the woman is not okay. Not just reading the videos. We've read her captions. We've attempted to read her captions that do not make sense. Like, I don't know why anybody is shocked that she has not been acting normal, that this arrest was not normal in the slightest. Now, Britney failed the field sobriety test while she was out there with the officers. In her car, they found Adderall that was not hers. They found an empty glass of wine. However, after she continued to get more and more agitated and refused to comply, they ended up having to handcuff her. They took her to a hospital. They did a blood test, and her blood alcohol content was under the legal limit. I think that it was like 0.06 or something like that. So she was charged. She pled guilty to reckless driving. She got 12 months of probation, but the DUI charges were dismissed. Apparently, in part, because the next month she voluntarily checked into a treatment facility. Her reps said, quote, Britney is going to take the right steps and comply with the law, and hopefully this can be the first step in long overdue change that needs to occur in Britney's life. Hopefully she can get the help and support that she needs during this difficult time. Her loved ones are going to come up with an overdue, needed plan to set herself up for success for well-being. Now, at the time, TMZ reported that this was a 30-day rehab program, but based on her Instagram posts, she was not there for 30 days, and very quickly she was back to making these types of videos. Like, that is not normal. And people spent years trying to convince us that it was. People applauding in her comment section, being like, she just wants to be free. She's the same Britney as always. You guys are projecting. That's totally normal. She's not crazy at all. That is an unstable woman. Like, objectively, get your heads out of your asses. Stop trying to be so politically correct. That is unstable. So that was happening back in April. And then just last week, this is the most recent update, this series of posts went viral. This man, Jeff Snyder, said, I'm having dinner next to Britney Spears right now. It is a wild experience. And then he replied to himself and said, she just left and everyone in the restaurant turned and started talking about it. An insane dining experience. One diner feared for her life. This is not a joke. Now, apparently, according to witnesses who were there, she was barking. She was yelling. She even walked around the restaurant holding a knife. That same rep that gave the comment after her DUI charge said that everything in this story was blown out of proportion. Some are saying that she just forgot to leave the knife at the table, so that's why she was walking around with it. But like, come on, people. Come on. We can use common sense. We know that Britney Spears has a penchant for wielding knives. And you didn't hear it from me, but allegedly, according to some sources, she has also pulled knives on her staff. So just putting that out there. Like, the point is, this is not a stable woman. So 30 days or however many days it was at some Lux rehab facility in Camden, Maine, where she learns how to be, quote, kind to herself, is not going to solve the problem. And so now, almost 5 years later, more and more people are realizing that the hashtag Free Britney movement, let her be free and weird and dance in her kitchen, they are realizing that maybe freeing Britney was not the best solution. Like, an actual solution to a problem would be using Ethos to get life insurance. Now, when you have children, it hits you fast that your life is not just about you anymore. It is about them and protecting their future, and life insurance is a huge part of that, especially if the politicians that we elect are not going to do the work to keep our city safe, which is a harsh reality, but very true. And that is why I am a huge fan of Ethos. They have taken the headache out of life insurance by making it 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds and apply in minutes for up to $3 million in coverage, and the best part is there is no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions online and you are ready to go. Ethos connects you with a network of trusted carriers to ensure that you get your lowest rate, with some policies starting as low as $30 a month. So take just 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/Brett. Again, that is ETHOS, ethos.com/Brett. Application times may vary, rates may vary as well. Now, when protecting your family's future, you should also think about their future skin. And if you use a mallow beef tallow, your skin and your children's skin will thank you. Now, as you guys know, I have been using a mallow tallow for years now, and I'm genuinely never going back to a conventional moisturizer. I am never trying another brand. Never. I tried tallow back in 2022, I think. I got hooked, and now half of you guys are hooked as well. I love seeing you guys post yourself with your mallow. It makes me so happy. But for those of you who haven't tried it, here's the thing about beef tallow. Your skin already knows what it is. The fatty acid profile in tallow is remarkably close to what your skin naturally produces. So instead of fighting through a wall of synthetic fillers and stabilizers and mystery chemicals to maybe get some hydration, hopefully, tallow just works. It absorbs, it balances, it actually does what a moisturizer is supposed to do, with no fragrance cocktails, no endocrine disruptors, no ingredient list that literally requires a chemistry degree to decode. And Amallo is the brand that I trust the most. Full stop. It is a small family business that is run by great people, the sweetest couple ever. It's made in the USA, grass-fed tallow, organic essential oils, clean, minimal, small batch. They are not cutting corners because they actually care about what goes into their products. And honestly, that is becoming increasingly rare as tallow becomes more and more popular. So if you've been curious about Amallo, stop waiting and go on over to amallo.com/Cooper. Use code Cooper15 for 15% off, and your skin will figure out the rest. Again, code Cooper15 for 15% off. Now back to the story and people doing a complete 180 on Free Britney. A couple of months ago, the New York Post published a great article on this from author Bethany Mandel. And in one part of the article, Mandel writes this: what if the legal restrictions that once governed Spears' life was not oppression after all, but protection? She was granted her freedom, but at what cost? True empathy for those in crisis is rarely as simple as progressives believe. Families dealing with drug addiction and severe mental illness understand this better than anyone. Often the most compassionate decision involves setting uncomfortable boundaries, requiring treatment, placing legal limits on financial control, or physically intervening when somebody is unable to protect themselves or could endanger others. And like, I know that this is common sense at this point, but she's not wrong. Like, it would feel so much better for my dear mother if she could give my brother Reed everything that he asks, everything that he demands when he lashes out and yells at her: drugs, money, flights back to India so that he could do more drugs and find himself, freedom from all the psychiatrists. But we have tried all of that. My mom has given him that freedom. We've done our own version of the Free Britney movement time and time again, and all it's done is hurt him more and result in physical hurt of those close to him. It's actually almost cost him his life multiple times. So the alternative, meaning strict boundaries, legal protection, like Bethany was writing about, is painful. It has harmed her relationship with him. There is resentment, there is anger, but he is alive and he is safe. And if he wanted to, he has the choice to get on board and be part of the program. He has the choice to start fighting for his healing at any time, to rebuild trust, to gain more freedom, to fix his lifestyle, his diet, to go take walks, do anything, but he doesn't want to. He refuses to. So as his guardians, we are left with these two options, and the option that my mom has chosen is obviously to keep her son alive, because that's compassionate, even if he is angry about it. Now, back to the article. Bethany Mandel, then she ties this into the bigger story. This is what we're gonna get into Spencer Pratt. I promise we're tying it all together. But she says, many progressives in these deep blue enclaves are committed to policies that put such individuals' choices above all else. Forcing somebody into treatment or mandating a shelter stay is framed as an unacceptable violation of personal autonomy. The humane response, leftists argue, is to respect these people's freedom, even if that freedom means sleeping on a sidewalk, declining medication, or refusing help, or far worse, or harming others. And this is where it connects to Los Angeles, because everything regarding the handling of Britney Spears, her mental illness, substance abuse, all of that reminds me so much of the important things that Spencer Pratt is talking about in his run for LA mayor. So obviously, and you would know this literally if you spent one day in Los Angeles, but homelessness is probably the #1 issue for Angelenos. They are paying, $9 a gallon for gas. They are paying obscene taxes. They are paying at least $1 million for a home. Most are paying way more than that. And they have homeless drug addicts shooting up in front of their front yard. At an event a couple of weeks ago, I was talking with a mom who recently moved her family from Los Angeles to Nashville. And the reason why she moved is because when she was taking her newborn baby on walks, they would, walk through a nice neighborhood. They would pass $6, $7, $8 million homes. It was lovely. It was safe. She would cross the street and she would be faced with homeless people exposing themselves, doing drugs, fighting, abusing dogs, everything right in front of her baby daughter on their daily walk. And she is not an outlier. That is literally what you see when you live there. And unlike every other California politician, state level to Gavin Newsom, Spencer Pratt is not mincing words about the situation. He is rejecting these soft feel-good terms like the unhoused. He's rejecting the idea, the absurd idea that this population, I'm sorry, but these people that walk around Los Angeles like zombies just need compassion, that they just need cleaner drugs and clean needles and the freedom to exist on our public sidewalks as they please. He is saying that is absolutely absurd and people hate him for it. Like one person said, the level of disdain Spencer Pratt has for the unhoused is disgusting. And if you're fine with this kind of talk, I don't want to know you. Okay, well, I don't want to know you if you think that these people just need compassion or whatever Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have been trying to do for the last however many years. One person responded, this is Peachy Keenan, I love her account. She said, I agree. I love and respect the homeless people in Los Angeles. I respect them so much that when I see a dozen of them lying in the gutter with no pants and their own feces, unconscious, filthy, and sunburned, I smile, knowing that I've cherished them enough to leave them where they are. That is literally what leftists sound like. It is absurd. It is disgusting. It is dangerous. It is not compassionate. And the only person that it helps is the person saying it because they get to feel good about it. Some of these people would probably read Peachy Keenan's comment and not even realize that it's sarcasm because that is what they say. Now, when one of Spencer Pratt's opponents, this is a woman that is currently on LA City Council, when she criticized his language on this issue during the mayoral debate, he said this. Just listen.
I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's gonna offer treatment for. She's gonna get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say? 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them.
The reason why Spencer Pratt is reaching so many people is because he sounds like your average Los Angeles resident. He is fed up. I mean, him just standing there behind that microphone being like, oh, good. We're gonna $400 million. We're gonna fix the solution. Gavin Newsom is running on homelessness once again, and it's only increased. Okay, like people are just done because the solutions are not working. And so one of them, Spencer Pratt, got up and said, I'm going to do something about it because obviously you people are not. And he is right. If that city councilwoman, if she went down there and said, let me help you, she would get stabbed in the neck because the modern homeless community is not the idealized version of a homeless person that just needs help pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, needs help putting together a resume and getting a job. They are mentally ill. The majority of them are mentally ill and they abuse drugs. And the left-wing version of help from these politicians does nothing. And actually, it is usually just exploitation, which Spencer Pratt laid out right here in this video.
Currently, Mayor Bass and Nithya Raman are increasing the rampant drug use by using your tax dollars to hand out fentanyl needles, tourniquets, and crack pipes to addicts throughout the city.
Actually, the city paying for people to drive around, hand out needles and pipes and other things to use drugs.
By doing this, they are killing 6 to 7 people every day in the streets, in full public view of you and your children, and they pretend they're the compassionate ones? Ask yourself this: what if that addict on your street were your son, the baby boy you love more than anything, unemployed, doing drugs every day, defecating in public, harassing old ladies at the gas station for money? Would you buy him crack pipes? Would you let him continue to degrade himself in public? Of course not. You would stop the cycle. You wouldn't let him defecate and die in the streets. You'd grab him by the wrist, drag his butt to rehab, and get him sober, whether he liked it or not. If you brought him into your guest bedroom after rehab, you'd demand that he do 0 drugs and maintain a damn job. Why? Because you love him, and that's what you do for someone you care about. Karen Bass and Nithya Raman don't do this basic compassion intervention because they don't care about these people.
And his solutions, starting with the fact that he is addressing this as a drug problem rather than just a homelessness problem, that is love and compassion. Compassion is not Los Angeles or the state of California paying hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars to NGOs who simply line their own executive pockets and hand out drugs and clean needles under the guise of helping the homeless population. Like, that only helps the people in charge who are taking advantage of taxpayers and keeping the mentally ill, drug-addicted people on the streets. What this population does not need is more drugs. They don't need more freedom. They don't need enablement via $400 million California-funded programs. For example, somebody responded to a Pratt critic and said, "It is not disdain, it is frustration." Saying that it is not disdain that Spencer is speaking with, it is frustration. The empathy that the LA officials have shown the homeless has only worsened the problem. 90% of them are mentally ill and or drug users. Allowing them to continue their destructive behavior is the cruelest thing we can do. Like, in this comment, we're not even talking about the impact on the citizens of Los Angeles, the innocent children that have to witness this on a daily basis. We are simply talking about the people who are actually going through this. The people that are abusing drugs every single day, that are living that absolutely horrific reality, being enabled by taxpayers because of what the California government is doing. That is not empathy. And now, tying it all back together, the same thing goes for Britney Spears. Now, in previous videos, I have already established that I think that the Free Britney movement was a major mistake. I did a whole video on that last summer and how I think that that shows us why we need asylums back open in America. I will link that below if you want to watch it. It triggered a lot of people, so that's fun, but it was a mistake. And I agree that Britney might have needed better guardians, better conservators, people who were not scraping money off the top for themselves, but also, I don't know the situation. I only know what we were told by the media and people pushing for this Free Britney movement. But what Britney did not need, and I know this for sure, was more freedom. She did not need the entire internet enabling, and I might even say exploiting, her mental illness, her struggles with substance abuse, so that they could feel all good and warm and fuzzy as they fight against quote unquote oppression. Free Britney, hashtag Free Britney, might have been politically correct, it might have felt warm and fuzzy for people, but it was not a real, tangible solution. Just like what has happened in Los Angeles and California with their mentally ill, drug-abusing, homelessness, zombie population has not been a solution. Offering beds, showers, clean needles to people who are out of their minds, high 24/7, hearing voices, abusing and giving drugs to innocent dogs, having sex in the streets, that's not actually going to solve the problem. Giving them a bed for 24 hours, handing out drugs is not treating them, and it is not keeping innocent, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens any safer. People with a history of serious mental illness and addiction do not need more freedom and more enabling. They need structure and protection. And I know that that is often a very difficult pill to swallow for the people out there who, oh, autonomy, I want to feel good about it. I know it does not feel good. It feels like crap. It is awful, but it is also the most compassionate thing you can do for their sake and for the sake of everyone around them and who loves them. So please, Los Angeles, vote for Spencer Pratt on June 2nd. He could turn LA around, and while he's doing it, he might even be able to save Britney Spears. So fingers crossed.